If you've ever been told everything looks normal, but still don't feel yourself, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Cornerstone Integrative Healing Podcast, where we're changing the face of healthcare so you can understand your body and take your health back. Because the truth is, most people are left managing symptoms without ever being told why their body is struggling in the first place.
Here, we take a root cause, whole body approach, connecting your physical, emotional, and spiritual health so you can finally start moving forward. And most importantly, we point you to the one and only true healer, Jesus. Hello, I'm Kari, Coody, your co-host. I'm a pharmacist turned integrative health practitioner, and after 20 years in the traditional healthcare system, I saw firsthand just how many people were left without real answers, and I knew there had to be a better way.
Oh, hey, I'm Jenn, Patriarca. God gave me a desire to help others through natural healing many years ago. And after more than 20 years in functional nutrition, he brought Kari and I together for this mission. A mission to help you understand your body, trust what it's telling you, and give you the tools and confidence to take your health back.
Through these conversations, you can expect simple, straightforward guidance on real health topics, along with practical steps that support your body, your mind, and your faith. Because healing isn't just physical, and it doesn't have to feel so overwhelming. We're really glad that you're here, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss new episodes every Monday.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Jenn and Kari here. We're here for another conversation from the heart. These have become, we've tried to sprinkle some of these in to just kind of, tell you guys just where we're at and where our hearts are. I know sometimes a lot of this stuff isn't talked about kind of in the open, and vulnerability is hard for a lot of people. And so we're just really committed to being as transparent as possible where we are in our lives, with each other, with God, with the practice, with you guys, so that hopefully we can just all learn from each other, because that's, what we're supposed to do. I know lately for me, I've really struggled, and probably the last 2 weeks feeling a bit better, that I was struggling for a little bit there just physically, that now I'm just so busy and distracted trying to maybe catch up or do all the things I want to do. Being a striver, I think it's a little hard when you do feel good. It's just you want to just keep going and going and going, and you feel it. Right? My body feels it, my mind feels it, my spirit feels it, but yet you keep doing it.
What's up with that?
Yeah. Well, I do sprinkle in some downtime, putting my feet in the grass, getting my light, doing the 15-minute stress reset that I do. I just need a lot of downtime. That's just the reality of my nervous system. Physically where I'm at also, I just need a lot of downtime. And so I have to really be conscious of when I'm being distracted. Like, it's quite obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's things that I need to do that I maybe don't need to do, but I would just want to do. So I have to be really, what I've noticed is just be really careful and prayerful with distractions. And there was a major distraction that came up recently. And I would say for both Kari and I, a major distraction. A recruiter reached out about a VP position in sales for a pretty prominent supplement company that we actually use. And I got super excited because I knew I could do the job. I knew I could do it well. And the enemy just really had me distracted for a minute, thinking that I should probably do it. And so, Kari, do you want to talk about where you were and all that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Going back a little bit before you just talked about distractions and all that, and you asked me what you could pray about for me recently, and I was saying that I kept thinking about this line in this song that said, "I lay down all lesser things for greater gain," and it kind of comes from Philippians 3. Just talking about I count everything as loss compared to the greatness of Christ. And so I've really been thinking about that, because that kind of goes to distractions, because good things can be distractions. They typically are,
Right.
And so I've just really been praying around that currently. And one of the things that came to mind was sleep. I love to sleep. I really value my sleep, but I think that, I need to set an alarm and get up earlier, especially during the summer. Summer now, my kids are not in school. I usually get up about 6 o'clock, but I can sleep till like 7:30 now. But I just felt like, okay, I need to get up because I'm going to bed at like 10:30. So that's sufficient amount of sleep for sure. But it was just one thing that popped in my head. But I'm going to be praying about that, and it could be something that you wanted to pray around too. So I wanted to share it.
Yeah,
Um,
distractions, I think, especially during, the summer, and I wouldn't call them distractions. Look, like, your kids are home, if you have kids that age, um, it's I think it's a really good time to embrace the distractions in the sense that when we are with our kids and we're present with our kids, it's it's
well, that's actually not a distraction. That's like
right.
should be the main thing.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah, I just wanted to yeah, that is the main thing.
but I just feel like for me, why maybe the Lord was pointing that out is because I really need to get that time in that's quiet, that I can spend in the Word and prayer before they wake up. Because
Sure.
I might have my plans, but they have their plans, and
Sure.
their plans are probably going to win out, and as they should, right? I'm just what a blessing to be able to be with my kids, and I know you feel the same way. During the summer and not necessarily having to go in to work. Like I really sometimes I take that for granted, but I should not take that for granted because it's such a gift. We only have however many years left with them.
Yeah.
Um, so
I feel a little convicted because this morning Carrie and I are, of course, trying to record podcasts, and, my youngest Jack has plans, and I'm trying to coordinate. My husband's not
I know.
home. He's and
Yeah,
it was like chaos this morning. Um,
I
and
know.
yeah,
It's hard. It's
yeah,
hard not to because we want things the way that we want them.
sure.
And I'm also really working on, like, just trying to think of myself less, not less of myself, but
There you
just
go.
think of myself less. Like,
That's
what do others
right.
want? What do others need? How can I be there for them? Like, that's just something that, yeah, I don't wanna say it doesn't come natural for me, but I don't think it comes natural for me in some ways. But I'm really trying to work on that currently.
Yeah, I don't think it's natural for anybody,
Maybe. I
It's
think it
not
is.
our
I think some people have a more nurturing spirit. They really do think about and I mean, I admire that. Now, they might neglect themselves too, right? I mean, it's something that we have to, I mean, it's a double-edged sword
Yes, I know
for sure.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super important. One of the things that I've learned just through some like personal development stuff was we all have a mantra that we're saying every day in our head that we don't even know we're saying.
Mm,
That can be a limiting belief or, just something, you're not worthy. It's lies from the enemy, right? And we have to counter that with a truth, right?
yeah,
And one of the things that I always worked on was how can I appreciate even more my worthiness to serve myself and God's people? I always used
mhm,
to just say serve God's people.
right.
But I
Yeah,
can't serve God's people if I'm not praying, if I'm not prayed up, if I'm not getting sleep, if I'm not keeping my blood sugar down, like all those other things.
yeah,
I can't serve well. And I do get lost in that. I get lost in, okay, I'll take care of myself later. I think a lot of women do. Uh,
yeah,
it's just the nature, of motherhood and who we are.
yeah. That's just why we constantly have to be in a state of surrender and just being aware of and be in constant contact with the Lord. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna screw it up if we're not, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna take something good and turn it into an idol or, chase after the wrong thing or whatever.
People
Um,
pleasing.
yeah.
And I wanna go back because you brought up laying down the lesser things for God's
Mhm.
greater glory. And I think for me, lately, I've been really struggling with just, people pleasing, like, being accepted, belonging, and forgetting who my identity to Christ is first. Like, it doesn't and I think everybody struggles with this, right? Like, it's really something that I have to work on is focus on, okay, am I only concerned with what God thinks of me
Yeah.
and doing the things that I know he wants me to do as
Mhm.
opposed to what other people want me to do? or expect me or
Right.
fill in the blank.
Yeah. It's hard to feel like we let people down. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know anybody that likes to feel like they let somebody down. Some people maybe are more used to it perhaps, or just maybe they're just more grounded in their faith and, in their identity. Hopefully, that's the case, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
that one's
something
hard.
that
That's a hard one.
it is a hard one, and I really I know we've talked about this before in the podcast, but identifying those lies that are very personal for us and countering them with
Right.
truth and God's word and consistently,
Mhm.
um, which I immediately went back to the lies that are constantly in my head, and then the verses that I had written out to counter those,
Yeah.
um, to really get grounded in who I am in Him. Um,
Yeah. It's funny how, like, we do talk a lot about, knowing your body, but you also need to know yourself as far as your bends, and
oh, yes.
the lies and the things that, are just there. I mean, they're part of how God made you possibly. Every strength can be a weakness, in other words, is kind of what I'm saying. Like knowing what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and being very discerning because the enemy's going to continue to use different angles, push different buttons. He knows what
Always
our bends
using our
are.
thoughts, so I'll
Yeah.
have these thoughts, and if those thoughts go unchecked, sometimes they do for me, and I'll have, these thoughts, and
Well,
then I'll
because we get busy and we get distracted and then it's just
exactly,
creeps in, right? For sure.
exactly, and so that's when I have to be very conscious of being like, "Okay, I have these feelings, what are the thoughts?" And I go back to those thoughts and I go, "Those aren't thoughts of God."
Right.
Keep like, okay, get rid of that thought, right?
Yeah.
Journal through it, pray through it. But it's a constant surveying of our thoughts sometimes.
And that takes a lot of intention. Right?
Yes.
But I think sometimes I know I've been so guilty of this. I'm chasing the wrong things. I'm putting all my intention into maybe it's a good thing, but I'm kinda making it my thing for my glory, perhaps. I've definitely done
Mm,
that. And you get so distracted with it, it takes up all your energy and all your time,
yep.
and you don't spend time really discerning your thoughts. That's dangerous,
Yes. Yes.
for sure.
That's why we've done a podcast on this, and we've talked about the examination of conscience. It's an Ignatius thing where you actually, ideally it's twice a day and it doesn't have to be long, 5 to 10 minutes where you kind of go through and discern,
Yeah.
just where God's working, where you might need to repent, asking God for things. It's just, and we can link that in this podcast. So you can go back and listen more about the examination of concepts. It's really helpful because then on a daily basis, you can see patterns if you're doing it daily and how the enemy's working
Yeah.
on your bends.
Yeah.
And
So oh, no,
one of
you go
those
ahead, you go ahead.
no, what I was going to say is one of those bends is, as you said, you know, um, searching for my glory instead of God's glory. And so,
Real.
back to the recruiter reaching out.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Right. That's where I was going. Okay. So when Jen I think I had already known, but then we had a conversation and I saw your excitement and it was a lot, I just I know that God has called me to do all the things that, to really us to do this together, to start Cornerstone and to keep giving it to him and that this mission is very important. And I truly felt like, we were supposed to do this together. And so it was really honestly heartbreaking to hear that. Um, but, I just, I kept thinking, even if, he's got a plan, even if Jen does decide to go somewhere else,
I
he's got
didn't.
a,
Just
right, right,
spoiler
right,
alert.
right. Spoiler alert.
Just
No,
saying, we're not going
yeah.
anywhere yet.
But I just think it was kind of a full circle moment for me because I previously had put a lot of my identity in building a business and success and all of these things and it was really sweet to see that I knew I was going to be okay even though I was sad, like I knew I would be okay. And I think for maybe that was what I needed to see possibly in the whole thing, is that yeah, sometimes if there's that little question there like will I be okay, I feel like I'm going to, it's almost like you approach things differently. There's this desperation to it. And I'm just really thankful that that all of that did happen, because it did show me that he's got me, even if now I'm really glad that it that it worked out the way that it did. And honestly, during when we were having the whole conversation, I just had this thought of, this is a turning point. And I really feel like it was.
It was a huge turning
It was
point.
a huge turning point because, I think we just sometimes we forget the mission, we get apathetic, we are focused on, other things. And I do think it was kind of a wake up call, probably for both of us, of just like reigniting the mission that he's called us to do here. Because, not gonna lie, there's days that I'm just like, I don't feel like anybody's listening. I don't feel like anybody's hearing what we're trying to say. Like, is this what we're supposed to be doing? There's definitely those questions. But at the end of the day, I know for sure that this is God's plan. He wanted us to create Cornerstone. He wanted us to just continue to surrender it to Him. He wanted both of us to be together. Because we just need each other, and it's
Our
a
strengths
beautiful thing, but
complement.
it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to keep surrendering that when you don't feel like anything's happening sometimes, or you just get frustrated, and
Or it's not
there's
just
all of those
moving as
things.
fast as we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just I think really what it comes down to, the world is very noisy. And I find myself not wanting to compete with the noise. I think that's what it is. I mean, I'm like, nobody's listening. Like, everybody's just busy and distracted. Like, I don't like that. However, I have to step back and remember, it's not up to me. I have to
No.
constantly remind myself of that. I'm a doer. I'm an achiever. I'm an executor. I just want to get it done. I just want to go through all the steps and check them off. But it doesn't work like that. Whenever this is the Lord's, it truly is His. Like, He's the one that's going to do it. And He's already, I don't need to figure anything out. And that's been big for me to rest in, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Anything
thanks
to add?
everybody for listening. No, I think you wrapped it up really nicely.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're here, and we just wanted to share some of these struggles with you, because I think sometimes, from the outside looking in, it's like they have this business and everything's great and they got it all figured out. It's not the case.
Yeah.
We constantly have to be in prayer and surrender. And that's not going to change. So I wanted you to just know our hearts behind that, and just know that that's how it should be for us all. And anybody that looks like they have it all together, it's usually a facade. But we're really excited about the mission that He has for us here. We are very passionate about helping people look at health differently, approach their health differently, because ultimately we're supposed to love God with all of our mind, our body, our strength, and our heart. And we believe that that's why we have this mission, is to help people approach their health differently so that they can live out their mission for the Lord better. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Let us know if you have thoughts, if you have prayer requests. We would love to pray with you about something specific. Let us know if we can help in any way. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
If this episode has served you in any way, drop a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd love it if you'd share any aha moments or takeaways on Instagram and tag us at Cornerstone Integrative Healing.
And if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. We want to continue to walk this journey with you. Until next time, friends, know that we are praying for you.